our time.
You call that radio?
Makes coherent sense.
Brothers and sisters, may the peace that can only come from the one God be upon you. We are here to tell the people that we hear you. One God will not allow us as people of conscience to lose our morale. We see the crimes of this government, how they support every dictator and criminal on this earth. Sometimes you can feel down. Sometimes your morale can go down.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hopefully you can hear me. This is You Call That Video. We've been doing this podcast since June, and I was going to wait till this June to start You Call That Video. But since none of us can get out of the house, I thought I'd put my high vis on and my Super Furry Animals t-shirt and get a new guest on every night, 7 o'clock on the internet. So I'm going to go and bring on, hopefully, Captain Hot Knives. Twitch. We've got some comments coming in as well, man. If you want.
Fuck.
Yep. So we've got so Tam Johnston says he wants to hear some techno skiffle now.
Oh. Okay. Techno skiffle, techno skiffle, techno skiffle, techno skiffle, techno skiffle, techno skiffle. But I thought if I put on my Facebook page, if anyone buys me albums, then I could use the money from Bandcamp to give to other people, because a lot of people have stopped having any way of earning. So it was just as simple as that. So I started asking if people would buy the Bandcamp. This is only in the last week, and you know what?
Right,
it's fucking gone mad. People have what it's done. It's brought out all the kindness in everybody. I'm not going to put my bank details publicly online because that could be foolish. I'm going to get loads of scammers and that. I'm going to get people saying they're a prince and they want to put £1 million in and stuff. But I'm just going to say private message Captain Hot Knives page. Just message me, and I'll send you bank details to put it in if you're putting in. And if you need it, just message me and you send me your bank details and I'll give it you. So all I'm doing is passing it on from one set of kind strangers to a set of hungry strangers. But if the hungry strangers stay alive, think of the party we're all going to have at the end.
You Call That Radio.
Thank you to everyone tuning in. This is episode 2 of You Call That Video. If this is going to work, I'm going to try and bring the brilliant Roberta Pia on. Roberta, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hello.
Brilliant. Live from Bristol.
These words drip from the tip of my tongue. I have never felt so old, yet so young. You seem free, she said with a smile upon her lips. The lady in green grinned and agreed. You'll see. Oh, I am the happiest I've been, despite all the vulnerability that seeps from me. Please help me to see free. I think I need you. Inhale, exhale, strong, be stronger, feel the fear, and hold on longer. Whirlpool, circle, and spin me right, carry me down the river
You call that radio?
But I was obviously a few days behind. I mean, I've been self-isolating since before it was cool. You know, 16, I'm in 16 days or something. But yeah, I mean, and I think everybody's at different levels of, you know, there's still people saying it's just the flu.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, mate, the Olympics is cancelled. Tom Hanks is cancelled.
Yeah. And I think Tom Hanks has cancelled. He's one of the
He's
first.
shot, mate. Tom Hanks is shot.
Actually shot.
He's shot.
I know it says something about the vulnerability of all of us when somebody as earnest as Tom Hanks can contract it so early in the game. I mean, and sometimes the level of access to information that we have is unhelpful when we're trying to establish the truth. And while I do think that there's been a brilliant democratizing effect of having all the social media and everyone having a voice and a platform, I do think in the melee sometimes we lose that shared experiences of society to come to some kind of agreed reality, like a national news broadcast or a TV show that millions of people watch. Not just necessarily for the information that you're getting, because I know sometimes that the quality of that information can be dubious. But if we're all watching the same thing at the same time, at least we all have a similar point of reference. And then when we do disagree, we're disagreeing within common parameters. Whereas I think what we've got just now is you've got people going down our YouTube wormhole about one thing and people going binge watching Netflix on another thing. And then everybody's congregating on Twitter and Facebook with different levels of understanding.
And also Boris as well. He's got, I mean, the official line's been so mixed as well that nobody really knows what's going on.
No, I mean, I kind of, in normal situation, I would sympathise with any political leader, but I'm really struggling to locate sympathy for Boris Johnson. I mean, you can see that he's completely broken. His whole platform, his whole agenda is in the toilet. Like, this is going to define his premiership. This is going to define part of our lifetimes. You know, like, this is 9/11 times 1,000, you know, to paraphrase Team America.
You call that radio?
Iona Lee, she's a performer, a poet. She's in a band. She also won the Scottish Slam Championship at a very young age. And yeah, we'll just get her on. Hopefully you can hear her. So, hello, Iona.
Hi.
Good to see you. Is it working okay? Can you hear me and stuff?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How's your apocalypse going?
It's a bit doomy, but I'm actually kind of surprised at my reaction to all of this. I feel like maybe I work out so many worst case scenarios all the time that I'm just like prepared for this because I've been quite relaxed about it all, which isn't my normal way of feeling about things. So,
do you think it's just at this stage it's just good to have a bit of downtime?
Well, annoyingly, I've just spent the last like 4 months like alone at home every day anyway. And I was just gearing up to be like, that's me. I'm going outside. I'm going to see people. I'm going to do stuff. But nah. No, it doesn't seem like there's going to be much stuff happening. There's I feel bad for my friend. She just got off of house arrest like 2 weeks ago.
House arrest?
Yeah, she was on house arrest since like August. She just got off.
For?
Oh, I don't know if I should say.
It's just. What was it? Nick's watching.
She bit a policeman's finger off.
Fuck's sake, man!
You call that radio?
Alan Robertson enjoying the podcast. Cheers. Okay, well, I think is there why don't you do a poem that you do know and you'd be comfortable with doing?
Okay. All right. I've got one called The Night I Played Sims 2, which, as I said, I've just come out the back of 4 months of just being at home every day because I'm self/unemployed. So I was just playing a lot of Sims 2. But I was also reading a lot of poetry, and I started thinking about how, in a way, when you write poetry or you like make art, you're getting to have some control over the way that you're seen, or like the story of you is told, you know. So we read poems by people who've been dead a while, and they have some control over what we think of them by what they decide to write about. But I was just playing a lot of Sims 2, which isn't very poetic. So this is about that. If I know it. Charles Bukowski's life was all airheaded whores who bored him, and 1960s hospitals, and red wine, and shagging. And you can tell because he always made sure to mention it. He wrote on typewriters before typewriters were for wankers. I think it might have been easier to get away with being artistic in the past, back before everything had to be enjoyed ironically. He has a poem called The Night I Fucked My Alarm Clock. And you could never get away with that kind of sincere posturing these days. But I worry that I mentioned cigarettes a bit too much. And last night I just played The Sims 2 until I fell asleep. The past seems more romantic to me. There was more time to die of syphilis without Wi-Fi, more gazing out of windows. We shall never wander through gardens dripping with ripe metaphors, sighing that we must make war with France. We are not art installations. But I am in the business of romanticizing. When I look at the dark, and it doesn't look back, and I feel overwhelmed by insignificance, writing it nicely pokes holes in the sky so I can breathe. It is like performing to a sold-out empty stadium because whatever the poets tell you, none of this really matters. A 1960s hospital is just a hospital in the 1960s. Most love affairs dribble amiably to an end. In most of Bukowski's poems, nothing actually happens, apart from a vague implication of something profound. He liked to mention typewriters, like I like to take photographs of typewriters and put them online. We are all trying to prove that we do existing devastatingly well. Knock, knock. Excuse me? I am also here. I want an aesthetically pleasing, miserable life that people are jealous of, a life that is a good story to tell. Please stick me on the fridge, where everyone can see me.
You call that radio?
So this is a song about our generation, okay? Here we go. Is that good volume? So sometimes I think, what does my grandmother care about? She cares about like religion, family. My mum cares about family, kind of. What's our generation's thing? What do we care about? Oh yeah, pretending to have a good time. On the internet, pretending to have a good time. In the club, pretending to have a good time. At a funeral, pretending to have a good time. Selfie with the body, pretending to have a good time. When somebody's literally inside me, I'm always pretending to have a good time. But guess what? I'm dead inside. So this is the dance move that you do in the club when you're pretending to have fun. This is the one that you do when you like see your ex. You go like this, you go like this. I'm over you, oh yeah. Pretending to have a good time. Like right now. I'm depressed, pretending to have a good time. I've got chronic depression, pretending to have a good time. Like you right now, pretending to have a good time. In quarantine, pretending to have a good time. Yeah, we're always pretending to have a good time, but guess what? We're dead inside. There we go!
Brilliant.
You call that radio?
Tell me when it's loud enough.
That's nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try one more for you if you want it.
Go for it, man.
Yeah.
sick somewhere, broken, nauseated by the moment lurch. Rapid cycle days, neutered and spayed. This abandoned church ambience, shadows from a black lantern. Perpetual interior character assassination squad lobby for the last resort of absolute abandon. Past master, circuit bender, architect of isolation. I approve this message, human race in death's direction. You're all amoebic imitation, castrated and cauterized, casual, cultural, reappropriation makers. Last gasp of empire, first breath of the meanplex. Chaos is an upward stagger where everything's permitted and previous precepts don't matter. Fucking scatter. Alienated autocrats, corrupted by their bureaucrats, their diplomats, leave them back in chains to murder factories designed by abstract mathematicians. You never listen, so mankind never migrated and the moon doesn't glisten with computronium transmitters. And that's nothing to the sucking fucking horror of the mainstream. Opiate addiction narrative sold as cautionary hate dreams. Seems our minds flow in two streams. One's a deadly current, one's a pool that drowns the loudest screams. Unpick the seams, better to drown him and forget him. History knows no compromise, they'll outsmart you if you let him. We make a virtue out of murder, pile betrayals till Armageddon. Take me out the race, forget it. Decommission, I'm a spent weapon, half-life buried. This fat tribute to Abaddon. We feed on hopes that all who entered here have long abandoned. Acid-drenched homunculus, lost-born, misguided seeker. Feel the existential terror manifesting through your speaker. Suck a chloroform holiday and drift away like ether. Diminished light, malfunctioning mirror self, the replicant. A consciousness of stardust modes. I express the lexicon. The band played Let's Pretend. Everybody looking for the nearest exit. We're children of a restless Brexit. The referendum never ended. The referendum never ended. The band played Let's Pretend. Everybody looking for the nearest exit. Children of a restless Brexit. The referendum never ended. The band played Let's Pretend. Everybody looking for the nearest exit. Children of a restless Brexit. The referendum never ended. The band played Let's Pretend. Everybody looking for the nearest exit. The referendum never ended.
Nice one.
You call that radio?
The biggest thing I missed, I think, is just interacting with people. See, like you see a pal and you give them a hug, you're like, what's happening, big man? And I'm missing that contact more than anything. And like I'm Skyping the veins every day. It's not the same. Like Skype's just a video. And you're that used to your phone anyway. It's not the same. You know what I mean? You come off your phone, you want to talk to somebody face to face. And that's what I'm missing more than anything. That engagement with everybody. I'm missing giving my veins a hug. And I'm missing just, sorry mate, I just ate a massive steak and I'm pure button like fuck. That's barking, man. That's like pure garlic. Jesus Christ. But it's just fucking, I just nearly made myself sick, yeah. That was humming.
You call that radio?
We broke up a bit there. But I think we're back, mate. I think we're back. If somebody said, hold on, I need to give them credit. Who was that? It may be possible now to break the internet. Do you know Sharon, look, the way Beyonce, she broke the internet, didn't she? There was a picture of Beyonce that broke the internet. So maybe that's what we're doing, man. You know,
just two sexy guys.
Two sexy guys coming down together. Let's just broke the internet. Like, no fucking way. Mark's speaking to Gary. Internet's fucked.
That'll be Pornhub tonight, won't it? Two sexy guys with Denniston.
You call that radio?
Crimes of this government, how they support every dictator and criminal on this earth. What crimes